Good evening and welcome then to Leeds United's FA Youth Cup final journey. It is the final destination. It's where it gets serious for these two teams, and we're at the Etihad Stadium. It's Manchester City versus Rob Etherington's Leeds United. It is the pinnacle of youth football, and Leeds United deserve their place here tonight. Let's see how far they can go. It is the third attempt to try and win this most prestigious competition, youth football. 1993 and 1997, the last times that Leeds United got their hands on the trophy. So let's hope we can have similar success. Back then it was a two-legged affair. Tonight is just here and now, and fingers crossed we will not have too much drama. But with Leeds United 18s, Ben Parker sat alongside me. That isn't going to happen, is it? I mean, we're just sat here now, Ben. Look at the travelling support to our right-hand side. I mean, what a special night for our football club, and even for us to be sat here tonight. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Tom. And special night definitely comes to mind. Yeah, so you look at the scenes coming out, first time in 27 years, as you touched upon there. But speaking to the coaching staff, some of the players pre-match, they're cool, they're calm, they're collected, and they're really looking forward to tonight, as everyone is as well.
Yeah, so there will be the pre-match presentation tonight. Of course, with it being a FA Youth Cup, we've also got the national anthem. And then once we get that out of the way, we can bring you through the teams. But yeah, Leeds United support has turned up in its numbers tonight. Leeds will be in their away strip against Manchester City. And it is second meeting in a few days, a few weeks, should I say, for the two teams. Leeds to put out a younger team in the league. And this is where fully fit, as best they possibly can field, with injuries maybe perhaps earlier in the season, that they can try and take the game to Manchester City. So Leeds finishing in fifth, City in second in the table. That's how it finished in terms of, or it's how it's standing in terms of how it finished for now in the regular campaign. There is a couple of teams left with games to play. But I mean, this is what an experience, Ben, for the players just to go through these pre-match handshakes. There isn't many teams that academy level even get to do this either.
No, exactly, and this is all new to the players, but Rob Etherington spoke, not even lead up to this game, but throughout this FA Youth Cup run, about embracing this different situations, acknowledging that it is a big event, and that's what we've done so far, and done it so well. The players have been so mature. We know how young they are, but they've taken everything on board. And then just to hear that a massive away following behind the goal, it'll just spur them on even more. So, look, I don't get very jealous for players now, because I think of the players that you're playing and aching afterwards, but I would swap positions with any single one of those out there, because these are the games and these are the moments you remember for the rest of your lives, Tom.
Yeah, you certainly do. And as you say, Ben, if this game would have been at home, we know the crowd would have got. But the fact there's so many travelled this Friday night makes it even more special. Rob Etherington even outlined that in his pre-match interview ahead of kick-off. So we can just break down then for the national anthem and then get you the teams ahead of tonight's 7 o'clock kick-off. Fletchers, Daniel Toulson, Charlie Crew, Alfie Cresswell, Ruben Lopata-White, Harvey Vincent, Reece Chadwick, Freddie Lane, Sam Chambers and Josh McDonald. Owen Grainger is the sub-goalkeeper, and Joe Billett, Coburn Bird, Oliver Pickles, Connor Douglas, Devon Brockie and Leighton Brown. So we even got the pre-match photo that is only really reserved for big games, Ben. That's when you know things are getting serious. Never mind the fans to our right-hand side. But, yeah, big occasion. Once again, the players just going through their last-minute warm-ups. There's claps. There's even waves to those in attendance that they recognise. And it's one of those things, again, where, you know, these players are so young. But due to the nature of academy football and how it works, Ben, this could be, for some of them, we hope not, the biggest game of their careers, you know, for some people.
Oh, you talk about and look back to the players who've won it 93 and 97, and some of those guys went on to have incredible careers. Ask them what sticks in their mind amongst all the other great achievements throughout their professional career. They always mention the FA Youth Cup final, and the players are on brink of history. Well, they've already made history getting to this point, Tom, but can you just imagine going that next step? Going that one step further, actually winning this game tonight, winning the FA Youth Cup. No one ever take that away from them. So you just want to say, yeah, enjoy the occasion, grasp the opportunity as well, because there's been so many players over the years representing Leeds United Academy, never had an opportunity. What these young boys are about to face any moment now. So go on, embrace it, and yeah, just really enjoy the occasion.
Yeah, Robert Eddington's words beforehand help the players be the best they can be, and once they do that, he said they'll be proud as that at the start. Anything better than that as the coach of this team, and then he will be the happiest man inside this stadium. And such is the length of these pre-match amble. We've yet to do the coin toss. Dan Toulson is the skipper tonight for Leeds United. And we should be ready to go for kick-off straight after that. Simpson-Pusey is the skipper for Man City. So Leeds United have already beaten Norwich, Brighton, Sheffield United, Liverpool and Millwall to get to this stage of the competition. Man City beating Watford, West Ham after extra time, Reading, Tottenham and Bristol City. And the atmosphere is quite surreal for an under-18s game of football, Ben. It's one of those where you just look to your right-hand side and smile, really. Not surprised, but still smile.
I'm just so glad I'm Leeds, Tom, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Would we be anything else? So kick-off nearly ready to go finally. So we expect it to be the usual 4-2-3-1. Richards at right back, Toulson left back, centre-halves, Lopata-White and Cresswell. Out on the right-hand side of midfield should be Vincent. Holding the midfield down is Crew and Chadwick. Chambers will support. Lane up front. And McDonald out on the left. It's Man City getting us underway. And with an early touch out wide, it is with Alfa-Ruprecht. And that Leeds United support making themselves heard as quickly as possible. Try to give those home players a bit of an unsettling start to the game. Ball nearly goes out, and it does. Ball nearly goes out, and it does. And it's a beautiful day in Manchester, which is something I've never really said.
Yeah, it's a rarity.
But it is. And if we had to nitpick, Ben, attacking the away end, seconds if it means anything, as McDonald lets that ball go. And that was because it took a touch on its way. Leeds get the threat. Referee, though, stops Chambers from taking it further down the line than he should have done. Chambers from taking it further down the line than he should have done. Composed by Cresswell to McDonald. Probably got a bit more power on that inside pass than he realised. As they go inside from the centre half spot, back out wide again to Alfa-Ruprecht, and he's going to keep it in, and for the second time in a row he's unable to do so. But already a facet of the game, Ben, a crossfield ball from City to the right midfielder.
Yeah, and for Dan Toulson, captain for Leeds United tonight, just his starting position, just be aware really does. He has been so far. Those through ball passes that Manchester City will be looking for. So if it's going to go wide, just adjust your body, adjust your position.
Yeah, Leeds putting the press on early here. That was Vincent.
Adjust your body, adjust your position.
Yeah, Leeds putting the press on early here. That was Vincent. Lane leading the line up front. Of course, immaculate surface here at the Etihad, where Man City's first team will hope to lift the Premier League trophy in a couple of weeks. I say that a week Sunday. So you don't really get any better surfaces, really. And it's been a relatively low-key start for Leeds, Ben, without real possession, but no sign of any threat. And no real press up front from Lane or Chambers. That's allowing True Grant to roll it out from defence, and he goes across to the left-hand side. It's a tricky run this for Man City. Plenty of confidence about their play. They win the first set piece of the night, but again, Leeds have that pretty much under wraps. There's no real panic. Yes, they've conceded a set piece, Ben, but considering Man City were on the goal line, that isn't the worst. Yeah, first time they tried to go down the left-hand side. Just trying to body shape, same on the right-hand side as well. Just open your shoulders out. Yeah, City's corner's short. To the edge of the box, the dummy allows this move. Yeah, City's corner's short. To the edge of the box, the dummy allows this move to be free-flowing. Cross is coming in, Leeds have to be ready for it. Mahady is. It's a routine catch, but I mean, that is just what you want as a goalkeeper. We're 3.5 minutes in, Ben, and he's got an early touch of the ball, and it's a very relaxed one. Yep, dream start for a goalkeeper, is that, as you mentioned. But defensively, I like. Yeah, header back into midfield there from Charlie Gray. That was nice and composed for the City man, just what they needed. Leeds have not really had a chance to get a touch of the ball just yet. That was nice and composed for the City man, just what they needed. Leeds have not really had a chance to get a touch of the ball just yet. And Chambers and Lane, for now, are keeping themselves pretty rooted to their positions. There's a little bit of pressurising, but certainly not on the goalkeeper. The closer they get to halfway, there's nearly a pass back towards the defence, which Chambers could have latched onto had it been one stride closer. Noble's steaming out of defence. Now Leeds have to get numbers across. They do with Vincent. That touch takes it well away from trouble. And he should win Leeds a throw, and he does. He's bundled to the floor, but travelling fans in the far corner flag, Ben, appreciate the hard work, and we know that is an attribute. Travelling fans in the far corner flag, Ben, appreciate the hard work, and we know that is an attribute that our fan base love. It's going to be hard work that the White players are going to have to show tonight, because Manchester City fullbacks, they'll bomb on. They play very much like the first team do. And for Harvey Vincent there, good early signs that he's alert and he's alive. And Chambers thought he'd run a free kick. Because of the referee playing on, City have actually managed to get more of a forward move onto that ball, but not again. Heavy touch from the winger. Clearly that's an area that they feel they're very confident in. It's Alfa-Ruprecht was just running out of wriggle room, and the touch from Toulson takes it out for a City throw. Up towards Heskey. Cleared away by Crew. Up to Lane. Good movement from Lane at the last second to chest it, and Chambers will steam forward, and that's one of his main assets. They try to take him out there. Advantage played. Here's Chambers running through on goal. Still going, Sam Chambers. Might even have a shot. He lays it towards Vincent. Nearly gets in the way of Lane. Vincent will pick his shot. He'll fall to the edge of the box. It's cleared away by Manchester City. But the first attack for Leeds is a positive one. And surprise, surprise, Ben, Sam Chambers gets his head down and causes carnage. It certainly does. Anybody who follows the under-21s live on LUTV has seen him doing that for the last 3-4 months, giving so much confidence for that run he did. Yeah, McDonald to Lane. Oh, Lane got his footwork wrong. He goes and recovers at least, and City, I think, will try and win a bit of a throw. It didn't go back. They've managed to get away with it, but he wanted perhaps further punishment, and he's going to, of course. We are 6.5 minutes in.
But going back to that run from Sam Chambers, if we can produce that more times than not tonight, we're going to cause Manchester City loads of problems in them central areas. I think he could have got his shot away in the end, but such a powerful run. And not tonight. We're going to cause Manchester City loads of problems in them central areas. I think he could have got his shot away in the end, but such a powerful run.
Yeah, more delayed. City had numbers back, as now they've got numbers forward. Heskey peeling away from trouble. Leeds stalking the number 9 all the way. It's just going to be kept away from Lopata-White. He gets there in the end. Now McDonald's got to fight. He does. Chambers can't get a touch to the ball, but Leeds push out and put City back in their own half. Kept alive by the hosts, poked out by Richards. It will be yet another corner. Near post corner, he's mishit. And that's just what Leeds need. That's 2 corners in a row now. First was a catch by Mahady, and the second he just was able to kiss the side netting. So set pieces wise, City have pretty much thrown them away to assert any pressure. Here's a man that, if given space, will cause problems. On that occasion, he's smothered early by Matty Henderson-Hall of Man City. We're noticing a real calmness about City on the ball, Ben, which is no surprise. You know, they'll play this way throughout the club from the first team down. But nearly 10 minutes in, it's not as if Leeds have not had any joy of their own. Arguably, the best opportunity we've had was when Chambers got to the edge of the box. So are you thinking Oboavwoduo will be pleased?
Yeah, I think he'll be pleased in terms of the compactness of the shape, the distances between defence midfield and Freddie Lane. Good distances, good gaps, in control. Obviously Manchester City are going to dominate possession in these kind of areas, but the game plan from us so far, allow them to have the ball in possession in these kind of situations, but when they start progressing it even further up into our half, that's when you start engaging, try and put a bit of pressure on.
Well, Leeds are doing just that now, and they've won it back. An opportunity for Chadwick to finally get a touch of the ball. Chambers runs away from the help and will keep it alive, but he has to go backwards to Cresswell, and we might get Leeds having the first touch of the ball. I do wonder in these situations, if that ball isn't released early enough for Leeds, like Chambers had it there, will the move shut down? It did on that occasion, but I can understand him as well. If he wasn't fully confident, Ben, he's thought, right, let's keep it.
Oh, 100%. He looked forward, the option wasn't on. Joe Richards started making an overlap run on his right-hand side. Couldn't find the pass. Guess what? Got out the other way, start again.
Space for Captain Toulson to stretch the legs and move forward. Out to McDonald. He's beaten his man. Now into the penalty area for Leeds. Cuts it back, takes a deflection. Leeds get the corner. Oboavwoduo, arms aloft to appreciate his winger's work. We have our first set piece of the night, Ben.
Yeah, 10 and a half minutes gone, and they'll be delighted, Oboavwoduo. Just speaking to one of his assistants, Alex Perver, in the dugout. Defensively been good, but then through Chambers, offered a threat. Now it's Josh McDonald on the left-hand side, showing his pace, winning this corner.
By Chadwick to the far post, flicked away by Man City. It will be a Leeds throw. He's got so much joy. In fact, it's actually a City throw. Like it took the last touch off a City man, but my apologies. But yeah, Leeds got so much success in that win over Millwall in the semi-final, Ben. We had 2 own goals from centre-halves in Bowman and Whiteman. Took the last touch off a City man, but my apologies. But yeah, Leeds got so much success in that win over Millwall in the semi-final, Ben. We had 2 own goals from centre-halves in Bowman and Whiteman of Millwall. And it was all thanks to Chadwick's set pieces. He just prided himself on them. And that one at least forced something from City's defence. As into midfield, it was a challenge from Crew, but he's beaten. Now they come forward here, City. Room to manoeuvre, maybe too much room as it's out to the wing. Into the penalty area they go. Richards being backed up. City coming forward. Shot comes in. It's into the frame of the goal again. It'll be a goal kick. And Chadwick didn't seem set then fully when he went to make that tackle. He was a little bit off balance leaning back. City man had the momentum. Before you know it, we've got a shot on goal.
Yeah, and they're the fine margins when you're playing against the top team, top players in Manchester City. If you don't win them duels in the middle of the park, then they're going to break forward, forced it out wide. The ball luckily hit the side netting.
Toulson, pressurised all the time, goes to McDonald, who in turn picks out Cresswell. Mahady does like to take a few risks. That one was not one of those. He cleared for touch. Yes, he's only cleared out for a home throw, but considering there was a City man coming over his left shoulder, that isn't the worst pass to give away. Inside the first 12.5 minutes and still goalless. And a risky pass has released Freddie Lane. Now he's got McDonald to his outside. He can't pick him out, but it will be picked up by Vincent, who will carry it away to the touchline. Vincent skips away, nearly ran past the second. It's out for another City third. That's a couple of calls that have been close, as we see some fans are still streaming in to the Etihad Stadium. We're getting a few chances though, Ben, little half chances.
And this is our game plan, and so far it's working to a treat. When Rob Everington and his coaching staff came up with this game plan probably weeks ago now, this is probably how they anticipated it kind of going. Manchester City, yeah, dominating possession, building up from the back, but just 3 or 4 times giving you that bit of confidence, that little belief, winning the ball around the midfield area, breaking, and you have to say we're looking dangerous on the counter.
Yeah, free kick taken short by City. And from left to right they come. They've now got the ball with Oboavwoduo. Midfield channeling there for the youngsters. Skipper's coming forward in the shape of Simpson-Pusey. And now the space outside as well. Ball across the face of goal. Leeds United had a lack of numbers. Richards was coming in late. Thankfully for us, Ben, no Man City shirt at the back stick.
Yeah, because it was a dangerous cross. That one just whipped in the front of the 6-yard box. But been praising the shape, the defensive structure of our players so far, but sooner or later when a centre-half steps out, you've got to go engage. That comes from communication, understanding, pitch awareness. And when you do step out of your position, it's up to the other players then around you just to make it even more compact.
Yeah, Mahady taking his time to be set. Lopata-White eventually goes to him. It was a bit of a waste to kick out from the back. That's given the ball straight back to City. And it is these areas where, because the hosts are so good, usually you just don't want to give them those extra bits of possession. Another pass that is overhit, chasing it. Alfa-Ruprecht, but he cannot keep it in play. He's had no chance there. See, I've just realised why Man City are doing this. It's so wet here normally. They normally play it down the right, gets caught in the rain on the wet surface, sticks. It's been too sunny. It's been too sunny. They've got no idea. Here's Dan Toulson for Leeds United. Inside to Chadwick. Wide to McDonald. Pokes it down the line looking for Chambers. And this chess match continues. Midfield has not been able to get involved just yet. Chadwick and Crew. It's a different sort of game for their Ben, but you know, as we say, for youngsters try to learn and develop and work on their game, you're not always going to be the favoured team having possession. You are going to be second best at times.
Some of the bravery, Tom, as well, because the players have been so brave to this point, and they've got to go up another gear as well, because, as you mentioned, in possession, Manchester City will dominate it. So when you do get an opportunity to keep the ball, or whether run into some space, 100% commit with it, because those are the opportunities where you can take 4 or 5 players of Manchester City out of the game, and then we're getting into some dangerous areas off the back of that.
Yeah, Vincent tried to be the puppet master around the pitch to where he wants his team to go. City tried to beat the press there. Interception from Crew, pressure from McDonald. Strong challenge comes in though from Henderson-Hall. And City, not sure who's had more touches of the ball, Leeds or the number 4, and Keir Noble, who's had more touches than anyone at the back there for Man City. But again, it's all about City. I think Ben trying to wait and bait Leeds out of this line, but for now, nobody there. Leeds very rigid in their structure at the back, especially in midfield. Everyone stood poised as it's out towards Alfa-Ruprecht again. Lays it back inside. Good challenge from Leeds in midfield with Crew, but it'll bounce fortunately for the hosts. They'll go and retrieve it and go back to Noble again. Crew in midfield, beaten away by some fancy footwork in City's midfield. And that was by Divine Mukasa. Danced away from trouble, but nobody for Leeds panicking as they make their way across this midfield. Still 0-0 after 17.5 minutes, nearly 18 now. Mukasa again, it goes wide. Vincent got a toe to the ball, as did Chadwick in midfield, but it's just a little under hit. He was at full stretch. And City just turning the screw a little bit, but in fairness, Ben, not where they'd like to turn the screw. It's all very much around the centre circle this game. We hope that continues, of course. I do feel that with this tie, it could change in an instant. Noble once more. Goes across to Simpson-Pusey. Captain strides out of defence. But City, slow, steady. Did you expect a different approach, Ben?
No, all because reading a look at the highlights leading up to this point, even the semi-final for Manchester City, they didn't have it all their own way. Yeah, they dominated what we're seeing here in terms of possession, but very methodical, almost trying to grind the team down.
Keeping it alive is Joel Ndala, still going the number 11 for City. He comes infield now, Leeds' body's falling over, trying to get to him, but they win it back, and now cheered on by the travelling support. Chambers, he had Lane making a run. Chambers is nudged off the ball. Rob Etherington again asking, I mean, there was no attempt to get the ball there, Ben?
Yeah, I don't think it's a yellow card, but brilliant from Sam Chambers yet again, running forward with the ball. That's the kind of bravery, commitment you want to see. Had nowhere to go. Yes, Freddie Lane was trying to make a run, couldn't get the pass to him. Clever play from Chambers, wins the free kick.
Here is Noble. This is crossfield out towards Ndala. In behind City have got there now. Heskey's coming at the near post, the dummy. It might work here. Mahady still not fully clear. Now it is from Leeds. Good commanding clearance. It's away. It's out for a throw. Closest Man City have come to scoring, Ben.
Yeah, they've had a couple of dangerous moments or dangerous situations. That's by far the most dangerous out of them all. They worked it well down there, left-hand side, getting bodies into the box. Mahady, great position from a goalkeeper's point of view, gets down low, big left hand.
Yeah, McDonald inside, strong challenge on Charlie Crew. That's by Heskey, and it will be a Leeds free kick. And we hope he's okay, because that was contact that did not miss, we'll say the least. It's been caught right down the bottom of the ankles. But a respite for this Leeds defence, who've got to stay so switched on. Alfie Cresswell is the one behind the set piece. There's no sign of him taking it forwards, though, back to Mahady. Now to Chadwick and across to Lopata-White. Trying to beat the midfield. They do. Vincent turns it to Richards. Richards knew he was in a bit of a tussle, so didn't want to go forward. Lopata-White caught late, only though for a throw to Leeds United as we reach halfway of this first half.
Yeah, I like the build-up, though. The pass into the midfield. Wrapped at pace. Unfortunately, we couldn't get, was Richards on the right-hand side, the ball out to him early enough to proceed further up the pitch, down that channel. But they're the types of passes where you've got to take a chance sometimes, and it's risk-reward.
Chambers intercepted that pass. The City in midfield, it was Oboavwoduo that got across to stop him as Noble goes back to Grant. And Ben Wilkinson's team have dominated possession so far. They have nothing to show for it, though, at this stage. As McDonald's trying to get back, the cross takes a deflection. Not enough to disrupt Rory Mahady, who just gratefully, and those fluorescent orange gloves of his, brings it into his chest. And so far, so good from the Leeds United goalkeeper, who we have to thank for getting to this stage of the competition. Not only many important saves, penalty shootout saves. And he's a key asset to this team with the way that we play. Grant rolls it sideways to Simpson-Pusey into midfield now for Charlie Gray. Out to the left-hand side for Mfuni. All very relaxed at the back, but still, Rotherington is making notes. It'll be all about ways he thinks this team can be exploited. Toulson, he looks offside in the number 7, which he is. He went past, ball thrashed in. But Farid Alfa-Ruprecht certainly looks offside for where we're sat, Ben, which was nearly level with you. And you could be a linesman, so I'll trust you. You put your arm up on everything.
Yeah, that is true also. But good defending from the back four, because they kept the shape, they held the line, they were brave. Could see where the players were going to drift offside.
Noble again. Alfa-Ruprecht down to Henderson-Hall, back inside to Oboavwoduo. Noble to Simpson-Pusey, just quickening up a little bit here, City. Richards covers all the way. A few fans in that corner thought the ball had gone. Vincent takes it away, and a bit of confidence. Richards, I think, wanted to go inside, but City closed that route down, and that's where Leeds are just struggling at the minute. They're having to go long to clear. City's press is forcing them into mistakes. Toulson, he's got work to do now as Alfa-Ruprecht tries to get by him. The cross comes in, Toulson stands his ground, gets the block, it'll be a corner. But the pressure is relentless.
It is, and these are the moments where we're just going to take the sting out of the game by keeping the ball. Easier said than done, of course, because on the transitions, Manchester City is so quick, so sharp to close you down. To do it so well in terms of the numbers, they'll put the pressure on, but we have to withstand that. We have to keep the ball ourselves just to have a bit more of a breather.
Yeah, this corner will be taken in the swinging. Leeds player went down at the near post. It's hooked away by Lane. Ball in was from Mukasa, all the way back into Henderson-Hall, who pings it forward. Lopata-White read it very well, and it's out of play for a Manchester City throw. Grant waits for room to manoeuvre. Then Toulson, header away, was at least going to give McDonald a chance to attack. Chambers, that's a delightful turn from Chambers in his away once more. He was pulled down. There's not much in that, though, I don't think. He lost his balance, and you can tell the way that Chambers rose to his feet immediately. He wasn't looking for a free kick either, which is a shame. The Cruyff turn deserved better, then.
He sent two of the players over for a hot dog. I think we nearly followed them. But that's the composure. He's the only one really in possession in a Leeds shirt so far tonight. Really showing that, and we need more around him.
Yeah, ball to the near post, out to the far post, sorry, Toulson. It's out towards Alfa-Ruprecht, who can try and beat the Leeds fullback. He's a tricky winger all the way across the far post. Richards just tried to turn it away. As a fullback, it must be so tough, Ben, when you've got the action coming at you. You don't know what's behind you. You can't handle it. I thought he did quite well there just to try and get his boot high enough to flick it away. Yeah, and it's one of those as a fullback as well, because you can't check your shoulders every single time. There's so much going off in and around the penalty area. If you don't hear a shout of time, just help it on its way. Yeah, here now into Noble, all the way across to Alfa-Ruprecht. Leeds conceded so much possession so far. City, little to show for it. They might put pressure here at Heskey. Striker lays the ball off. Richards gets there first, but due to the fact that Leeds are so camped in inside their own half, there's nobody there to counter-attack. Noble. Toulson. Crew. Got away though. Shots coming in. Slice well wide from Justin Oboavwoduo. And it was just as well, but because he was in a very good position to shoot and score. I don't think you really mind that too much, where you're going to have shots from, what, 20, 25 yards out. You'd be like, OK. The danger for Man City is when the build-up, get to the byline, cutbacks, play the through balls between your centre-halves and your full-backs. That's when Manchester City are trying to get to those positions. So shot from that distance, sometimes you, as a defender, goalkeeper, you think, OK, don't mind it too much. Awkward bounce for Chadwick, who makes it look quite easy, in fairness. He's caught just as he gets it away, and it's a good job because he's given the ball away, but that challenge comes in from Heskey. Chadwick ends up on his back. That's going to hurt. Big towering frame of the number 9. Wonder where he gets that from. As Chadwick is up off the floor, which is a good sign for Leeds. Players just try to keep morale high. It's such, you've told me loads of times, Ben, when we do these, it's mental as well, to be so young, to stay switched on for those instructions, knowing full well you can't let your heads drop should an opportunity arise, as City concede a throw in here. No, you're perfectly right there, Tom. In terms of, physically it's difficult having to chase without the football, but mentally that's where Manchester City grind you down, because sooner or later you switch off. That's what they're trying to do to our team so far, but half an hour gone, they're holding their own really well. Lopata-White. And across to Richards. We are surrounded by quite a lot of Man City supporting youths who are trying to make the atmosphere intimidating, and I can say it's worked. Where on earth did they come from? As Leeds United try and win the ball back. Chambers, they've won it back. Now Toulson pings it into lane. Now Chambers, bit of room for manoeuvre here. Then Chambers, Vincent, Richards steaming it across on the overlap. Out it goes to the Leeds fullback. Heavy touch though, and City will win the free kick. It's going to be no complaints. Joe Richards didn't miss there on the fullback, but it is those areas, Ben, that when you get the rare opportunity to counter, if a touch isn't perfect, City are going to take the ball straight from you. Yeah, but the link-up play was really good. Number 9, number 10, ball into Freddie Lane, lays it off to Chambers, go wide to Vincent. You can see what he's trying to do, force the ball wide out to Richards, but that's where you need that extra composure in the final third. Yeah, just balled a little bit. He'll be frustrated there, Richards, especially because he loves to get forward and get involved. As City look to get involved in an attack here with Ndala. To the byline he goes. Heskey trying to make a forward run. Vincent And Richards have already seen him take a turn inside, so Vincent didn't fall for it that time. It is going to be another City corner. Another corner dealt with by Leeds for now, as City have it into Mukasa, roll to Henderson-Hall. It's weird, Ben. I don't want to curse. Don't want to curse us, but is it just me or City? For all the City's possession, we've actually looked the more dangerous going forward.
Yeah, of course, Manchester City have got down the channels a couple of times. Looks like an injury for Rory Mahady, unfortunately. Needs some treatment, has gone down. Love to see one of the physios come onto the pitch, but I think it's a good moment for the players to come over to the touchline, get a drink on board, get a message from Rob Everington and the rest of the coaching staff. But yeah, take your point, because dominant Manchester City with the ball, as we said. They haven't really tested Rory Mahady. He is holding his 5 from our position here doing the commentary, but what we've got need to do probably more, build on on the good things we have done so far, keep hold of the ball, because the longer this game continues like this, you're going to get the cramps early doors. Mentally, you're going to really get tested. Physically, of course, you are, but this is where the more experienced players in the group, sounds crazy saying that about this age group, but the players who've played a lot of the under-21s, Charlie Crew's been around the first team as well. Put your foot on the ball. Expect the pressure, but know you can play 1-2, 1-touch, 2-touch, play around the corner, have a picture in your mind. So along with all that kind of stuff, that's when your experience comes into these situations.
Yeah, so there are the coaching team. It's a big group. Rob Everington said it earlier that he leads them, but we know how much of a collective family they are down there, that 18s team. They've had a bit of upheaval, a bit of change in recent years, of course, with the fact that we had Scott Gardner moving up, of course, bit of a reshuffle there. We can look at Mahady, who isn't walking over to the touchline, which is the main point. Of course, I mean, FA Youth Cup final, he's going to give it his all out there, isn't it, to try and stay on. And maybe within looking at 10 minutes left, if he hopes that he doesn't have to really stretch it too much. I mean, Grainger was warming up, ready to go should he be needed. So Mahady has it now. Leeds did have the ball when he went to ground, so we should just be as we were. I don't expect him to... Well, I think he'd like to avoid to ping the pass long if he has hurt his thigh, but... A throw out to Toulson. He's just trying to play again there as Cresswell goes cross-field. He was looking for Richards. It's under hit, though. And now straight away, City are back on the attack, and they've had so much joy there, making Leeds make mistakes. Leeds get the block in. Again, Chambers trying to get away. This time he was stopped by Charlie Gray in the number 6 jersey for Man City. Positioning of Chambers superb so far. Lane getting back to help out. Henderson-Hall tries to go past McDonald. Interception by Richards. Nice and calm at the back there for Leeds. Vincent, though, intercepted. That's where Leeds have been caught out. Now a City to the byline. Heskey waiting for the cutback. It's got there, but Crew gets to it first. Chambers gets in and be brave, and he has to slide in. And looking down the line, Vincent has no option whatsoever. He eventually gets it inside. Little flick at the ankles there as Leeds come away with it into Chambers. They've done tremendously well, Leeds United, to get out of trouble. And now they go wide to McDonald. He's craving for a one-on-one opportunity. City are trying to close that down as we speak, but he gets to the byline. The challenge comes in. They get a second chance to get to it, McDonald. And he lays it back inside. Chambers to Toulson. Leeds for a real opportunity there. Had to try and go for broke. Wasn't on. They're keeping hold of possession. That's a great pass from Mahady to Crew. Crew pings it wide to McDonald. Now it's Leeds United's turn to flex their muscles in possession. McDonald again will get a one-on-one against Henderson-Hall. To the byline he goes, cuts it back. Options, there was somebody there but couldn't get to it. He'll fall to Vincent. I think it was Lane or Chambers coming in. He just whistled past him at the far post. Here's Crew. Leeds United's fans responding to what is their best spell of possession in the game. Richards, loose touch in midfield. Won back by Cresswell. It will nearly go all the way out towards McDonald. But again, it's just those tiny times we actually get the ball. Nearly, Ben.
Yeah. Best moment, really, of the game for ourselves. Show glimpses of the counter-attack, but there's McDonald on this left-hand side looking dangerous with his pace. Believes the encouraging signs, though, from a team that having to defend quite a lot. There's been a handful of times where we have broke forward, as you mentioned, looked dangerous.
Yeah, just looking at the replay, it was Richards the one that was closest to it. Vincent had peeled back, went straight in between the pair of them. How different things could have been there for Leeds United here at the Etihad Stadium. Still goalless as Henderson-Hall goes back to Noble. Simpson-Pusey strides forward out towards Mfuni. And again, City's possession continues to build. Ball goes beyond McDonald. Alfa-Ruprecht inside, turns Toulson, cut back. Crew gets to it. Edge of midfield. City fans encouraging them to shoot. Not taken. They'll go cross field now. Grant looking out towards the far side. Overhit when looking for Mukasa. Leeds again, positioning perfect.
Oh, superb. The two boys in midfield are doing a great job because they've not really got on the ball as much as we've seen in this run so far to the final and all the times we've seen them with the under-21s, but defensively just positioning themselves for pullbacks, cutbacks, been great.
Yeah, Heskey, he's got beyond Lopata-White. The deflection on that through ball took him off guard. Interception though by Cresswell. Cresswell runs into traffic. They've got it back, City. Dangling leg of Charlie Crew. Toulson, cut back is on. Crew, Chadwick, no penalty given. Soft appeal, in fairness. And the referee was in a good position. Just when you thought City were going to strike and force their way through. Leeds get it away for 6 minutes left of this first half. And a misplaced pass. Toulson clears away. Mahady perhaps was a better option. Just the two maybe getting too close together. I think an idea well, Ben Toulson wanted Mahady to come get that.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Just at his thigh.
Yeah, as a player, there's a fullback being in them situations. Best thing, just deal with the ball. Don't want any confusion. Yeah, even he's put out for a throw-in. I'd rather that than Manchester City nipping and score a little simple tapping down to our mistake. So good from Toulson.
City on the attack. Alfa-Ruprecht corner in. Heskey jumps for it. He's got a header in there as well. Heskey's header over the top. The number 9 is getting closer and closer to getting on one of the end of these crosses. He's a big, powerful boy. Leeds, though, touch tight, Ben, and it is the fact they were so close has put him off.
He was praising Charlie Crew and Reece Chadwick in terms of defensive. They've been in good positions, been alert, been alive. This time was Lopata-White. Wasn't ball watching, followed Heskey into the middle, didn't get a free header, good defending.
It's Toulson, back to Cresswell. There's Chadwick to Toulson. Nearly showed too much of it to the City. McDonald, great feet, pulled down near halfway, and has been something City have looked to do. When they've been turned, they have taken 3 or 4 cheap fouls. Crew to McDonald. City have fallen asleep there. McDonald didn't go straight for it towards Chambers. Keeps hold. Back to Toulson. Cresswell to Mahady. Heskey forcing him into something early. Ball over the top to Richards. He went to ground. There isn't a huge appeal from Richards. It's another City threat. Strong challenge. Heskey diving in. Referee said it's a legitimate one. Now Leeds under pressure as Ndala runs forward. Leeds a stretch. Toulson's got to try and get across. Alfa-Ruprecht is the man that's the danger man. Crew gets there to help out, and it'll bounce out of play for a corner. Adding to the point you made earlier, Ben, about Crew's defensive work, helping out.
I'll start with a ricochet on the far touchline, around the halfway line as well. Manchester City come out with the ball eventually, and you mentioned just a bit disjointed in terms of a shape, but got back in great numbers.
Headed up and away by Toulson. Another one of those where perhaps a tiny bit more time, or maybe not this occasion. Mahady gets the shout to him to let it bounce, but of course it could have been awkward that, so it was safety first from the lead skipper. Mukasa has come across to take it. Gone short into Oboavwoduo. Gray. Alfa-Ruprecht. Ball across the face, headed behind by Crew. And a well-cushioned header. Leeds certainly taking no chances, certainly not at this stage of the game. Ndala to take this corner. The low ball, not the best. Toulson was just trying to get anything on it, but the pressure continuing to mount here on Leeds. A minute and a half left till half-time. These fans behind the goal just trying to sing them away from danger here. Give them a confidence boost as we get closer to this set piece being taken. It's not fully clear, it'll fall to the edge of the box. Body's coming in, it's deflected up into the air off Toulson. Headed back in, Heskey goes for it, it's up and over the top. And Leeds United survive. It's still goalless with a minute left of normal time in the first half.
It's the first set piece there where Manchester City have just put it into a dangerous area. Not managed to clear the ball, they've kept it alive. You have to say it's more than a half chance for Heskey. 7-8 yards out. Trying to put the bodies on the line, couple of deflections, head across goal. Poor finish in the end from Heskey. Quite relieved to see that happen.
Yeah, delighted. As could have gone anywhere, that original cutback. Leeds get the ball back. Chadwick having his ankles clipped as he does come away. Great upper body strength from Chadwick. Great movement out wide to Leeds. Cut back is on towards Chambers. It'll nearly fall his way. Lane was there as well. And Leeds United once again with a fast-flowing counter-attack. Sadly, it's just that final ball. Great response, Ben. 2 minutes stoppage time.
Yeah, 2 to be added on. Fourth official just showing that to everyone in here in attendance. But again, so many positive moments, so many positive things to talk about at this half-time break, because getting to them good areas, and yeah, whether it's that extra bit of composure, someone just show that little bit extra quality.
Yeah, City showing a bit of quality here. They've got him behind. Alfa-Ruprecht trying to go for goal. He's dragged it all the way across. Nobody there for City. Not though to shoot. They have got the rebound. Joel Ndala has picked it up, so Leeds can't switch off. Richards hoping he goes backwards and gives it away. They haven't though. Here's Henderson-Hall. He'll go for goal all the way across the face of the goal, but it took a deflection on its way. Another corner to come.
And for the first time in the game, it just looks a little bit stretched, kind of both ends, because we put so much effort into this first 45, and it's in the stoppage time where Manchester City just getting a little bit of joy, trying to put the block in, get a slight deflection, force the corner kick.
Underneath Mahady, good hands from the goalkeeper. Under pressure over his left shoulder. No wonder Cresswell just patted him on the back to thank him. Roy Mahady will use up every single second of his time he's been allowed as we tick into the final 40 seconds of play here at the Etihad in the first 45 minutes. Mahady's clearance. Closest one to it was Lane. Chadwick jumping up. Chadwick winning the header. Lane up there, but beaten by Noble. Cresswell gave the call. Heskey gave him a nudge. So it was all a bit robust from both teams. Bit of Football League-esque sort of style play. Be brave in the challenge. Richards was brave there. City dive in. Leeds, if they're quick, might get one chance, but Richards being on the deck isn't going to help their cause. And there goes the half-time whistle. So 0-0 at the break at the Etihad Stadium after the first half of the FA Youth Cup final. Man City have bossed possession, had plenty of chances to get into some good areas. That isn't to say, though, Ben, that Leeds United haven't had their own. Your thoughts, and a penny for the thoughts, you think, for Rob Etherington at half-time?
Look, I think it's been really positive. Manchester City, as we expected, their game plan, dominating the ball, trying to get in wide areas, use the pace. But defensively, we've been so compact and at times at ease. Yeah, Manchester City are going to cause problems now and again, but overall, defensively, I think they'd be happy. But then you flip it around into the attacking third for ourselves. We've shown glimpses, probably more than glimpses, that we can cause some damage, and I hope the players take them positive kind of attributes, speak about them, and this little break we're going to get here for the 15 minutes, and utilise them more in the second half, because you're 45 minutes away, lads. Yeah, potentially another 30, but we want to think about that, Tom. 45 minutes away from having your place in the history of Leeds United. Yeah,
fingers crossed. So that's the half-time interval then. Join us soon for second half coverage. Welcome back to the Etihad Stadium in the FA Youth Cup final. It's Man City versus Leeds United. We're about to start the second half and we are level 0-0 after a possession-based game for Man City in the first half. A glitter of promise from a couple of counter-attacks for Leeds. No doubt about it, Man City were the best team for possession, and towards the end really started to pile the pressure on, but didn't really force Rory Mahady into that many saves. Rob Etherington's team had a good opportunity on the counter-attack more than once, and Ben Parker sat alongside me was more than positive as we went into the break. So myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker bringing you all the second half coverage as the sun is just starting to settle a little bit on what has been a great night so far. All the travelling support, Ben, loud, and the best bit really, if we're going to try and envisage the moment, it's going to happen in front of Leeds United's travelling support if it's in 90 minutes. Yeah, if it's in 90 minutes. We just had half-time entertainment, almost like a football stimulator on the big screen. Leeds won that 3-1, by the way, in a penalty shootout, so I'm not entirely sure what that means for the rest of the game. But from our point of view, we've got to approach this second 45 very much like we did in the first half, because it's going to be hard work physically, mentally, but we've been given those opportunities in that first 45. We'll get them in this second period. Can we take advantage? Yeah, fingers crossed that is the case as Man City come forward early doors. And Mahady whips the ball away. He was looking to try and relieve the pressure to Chambers, but City gets straight back in possession. They've given it away, though. Here's Chambers out to McDonald. So this is an area where Leeds will look to exploit. City don't have that many numbers back. McDonald works it out towards Vincent. Richards is making an overlapping run. Still going, Vincent. And still cuts the ball back, takes a deflection. It will only fall into the hands of True Grant in the City goal. So Leeds' team, Mahady, Richards, Toulson, Crew, Cresswell, Lopata-White, Vincent, Chadwick, Lane, Chambers, McDonald. Are you surprised there, Ben, Leeds didn't go with a bit more gusto in the counter-attack? Was a little bit slow? What I like from Josh McDonald, saw the numbers was on this right-hand side, and it did open up for a split second for Vincent, but as Manchester City do ever so well, numbers back, just close the danger in the end. But bright start to the second half. Yeah, Mukasa was going to take that quickly. Good for Leeds that he didn't, because it was a one-on-one. Heskey trying to run with Cresswell. Here come City with Noble. Still coming here, City. Opportunity. Mahady saves. It's a really good save as well, but City have got there in numbers. Too many. And pokes home. And Rory Mahady's excellent reactive save isn't enough to deny Man City the opening goal of the game. It's 1-0.
Worst possible start. Mentioned it was bright in terms of us going forward on this right-hand side. The next attack from Manchester City, and for the first time in all of the game, they reached the 18-yard box and had space. Give Manchester City players time and space. They will hurt you. Mahady, good save, low to his right-hand side initially, but they just break into the 18-yard box. Good, strong right hand. They just had the numbers following up. Bit scrappy in the end. Really hard to tell on the replay. Was it a legitimate goal? Was it an own goal? I think Rich just trying to clear the ball, kicks it against the player running in for Manchester City, makes it 1-0.
Yeah, so Oboavwoduo coming in. Yeah, it's poked forward by the midfielder. Whether or not that was going in, I think it's a great spot bent. I think Richards has played his part in it, unfortunately, but he was just trying to get in there to help out. And yeah, it's going wide before it hits Richards, so in theory it should be a Richards' own goal. And it's hard to say he was in the wrong place because he wasn't. He was the fullback getting in to help his team. It's just a really unfortunate moment for him. As here is Charlie Crew, and this is what Leeds need, getting that midfielder on the ball a bit more. He's given the ball away there, commentator's curse, but very rarely did he have the chance, Ben, to get the ball, turn and make a pass, which is Charlie Crew in a nutshell. Yeah,
it is. And we're going to need that for him. Chadwick alongside him, the midfield players to be more brave in possession. It's been very difficult so far to showcase that kind of attributes for them type of players. There's these moments where you've got to probably dig in even more because one can easily be 2 and 3 really quickly, blink of an eye, with the quality Manchester City have got on show. So for the players, of course, be disappointed to concede the first goal, but this is where you've got to dig in even more now.
Certainly is. Leeds, no reason to hang their heads and be disappointed. Yes, it's frustrating, but not often really do you think you'd come to the Etihad away and keep Man City quiet for the game. It'd be tough. To Toulson. Now Cresswell hasn't got all of that, and it's sliced. Lopata-White will have to push up. Richards gets there. Heskey. Lopata-White wins a touch of the ball. Now in with Crew. Crew rolls it to Chambers. Chambers encouraged by the Leeds fans to run at this City defence, and he's going to take that encouragement and still going here. Chambers shakes off one. Out to McDonald. Leeds have 3 in the area. Now 4 if Chadwick can get involved. Out to Crew. Crew encouraged to shoot. He's turned away, but City might get to it. He's done very well, Charlie Crew, to keep it alive. Here's McDonald trying to get past Henderson-Hall. They've stood him up, and City can come away. But this is where the game might start to open up then. I think you hit the nail on the head in the first half. There was one moment where it was attack responded by an attack. And I have no idea what's going to happen if that starts happening on a regular basis, because it's going to cause carnage. They're still going here with Ndala. Foul by Richards, says the referee, and the first yellow card of the night will go the way of Richards.
I just thought we had the numbers for a split second, but fair play to Manchester City. They wriggle out that difficult situation. Those tackles this day and age always going to bring a yellow card out. And you're right, if it does become more end-to-end, might suit Manchester City in terms of getting a bit more freedom in the attacking third. But flip it around, gives our attacking players more time, more freedom to run into those dangerous areas.
Interception. City bench could maybe see that coming. They were grimacing out there as Lane just couldn't make it stick, and it's fine margins up there for Freddie Lane tonight, because whoever gets the ball in that final third has got to do something with it. It's huge pressure as Richards sticks out the toe to get to the ball. Lopata-White into Crew. This is where Leeds would just love to have him. A little circle of space up to Lane. He's nudged off the ball. Chambers just won't stick again for Lane. That time was more of an appeal for a foul rather than a poor touch. And it is still the 1-0 to the home team. Alfa-Ruprecht trying to get past Toulson. Toulson's done so well, not only to stop him, but it's actually stayed in play. As McDonald goes to ground, he wins a free kick. Fine margin now, Ben, because naturally you want to be braver, because you have to be. But brave can also mean slightly silly, so don't have to panic yet, do they? There's a lot of time left on the clock.
Yeah, of course. The players know that. Rob Everington knows that. And what we've seen so far, even in the semi-final against Millwall, going a goal behind, we've showed resilience, different type of occasion. They get it tonight, but using those experiences, they're going to need every little piece of that, because to get back into this game, going to take a big effort.
Yeah, forward to the winger, Alfa-Ruprecht, and he's able to go backwards. Gray out to Mfuni. He'll go wide to Ndala. Vincent coming back to help out, but Richards on a card will be scared to put a challenge in at first, but he does well there, Richards. Stands his ground, puts the second in, gets the block in. It will be a City corner. Taken short to Mukasa. Fired to the far post. Heskey and a couple of others lurking for City. Shot will come in, deflection, it'll be out for another corner to the hosts. Lopata-White, the one that was getting out there to put the block in. Leeds still pretty camped in their own penalty area. Lopata-White, that's why they're expecting the cross. They get it, they dealt with it. So far so good on the set pieces front. Won't praise them too much though, because we know what happens when we do. Don't want to curse them. There's another corner to come. Vincent gets to Mukasa's cross. And again, yet another set piece dealt with, and it'll just keep, little sign. You need a bit anything to build your confidence, Ben. So at least no set pieces wise so far. Things have been dealt with. It's a platform to now try and push on from that.
Oh, of course, and Lopata-White's been the key at that. The ball seems to be a magnet towards his head, winning several headers in his own box. Backed up by Charlie, well, by Alfie Cresswell. Charlie would be proud of seeing those type of headers.
Yeah, Lopata-White stepping across now. Does well, commands the situation. Back to Vincent. He'll need a helping hand. He gets one from the ref. He's caught late. And that is going to be a Leeds free kick. For Lane, but very little for Leeds to build off there. And it is such a challenge, this, against Man City tonight. A totally different style to what we've had even against Liverpool. Leeds boss possession, albeit Liverpool were missing some key players due to a FA Cup fixture. But when Crew and Chadwick have bossed midfield games, Ben, they've dragged them over the line. This is a different challenge, and very, very hard if you're a player to not overthink things, panic a little bit. He's still out there though, only trailing by a goal to nil. That might change here though, because City with Henderson-Hall are steaming forward. McDonald stalking all the way. That pass is mishit. Chambers, there is joy for Leeds now and again getting to the ball. Referee nearly gets in Chadwick's way. Chadwick can only poke it forward straight into City, who shut it down immediately. Ndala, Richards stands him up, then he gets knocked over for his troubles. The ball went out. And Leeds again, Ben, dealing with what's in front of them. I mean, just the one lapse in concentration. And I guess if you're a player, they'd say lucky deflection. And well, so far, they've defended well again.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah, it came about lack of concentration for initially Manchester City to get into the penalty area. Better freedom, better space for the first time in the game. But yeah, the goal came through that deflection, as you mentioned. So, a bit unfortunate in that aspect. But since the goal, you've seen Manchester City with the ball yet again, dominating. But it's all been in front of us. We're stopping the passes at times, like that block there. It's been great from Chadwick. So the players mentally just got to stay switched on, stay at it. And hopefully those kind of like little glimpses, those moments like we saw in the first period, we'll get another one or two of those in the second half.
Yeah, let's hope for the case. Leeds on the back foot. Noble will steam out of defence from a Grant through ball. Out towards Ndala. Vincent gets his toe to the ball, then flies into the challenge, and Winger will have enjoyed that. Winger on winger, just trying to assert some dominance here into the piece. And again, City bossing possession. Toulson, Alfa-Ruprecht in behind. There's Heskey, inch perfect from Man City, and they lead 2-0 as a result. And the centre forward, simple tapping. It was all about the through ball first.
Yeah, it was. That's a classic Manchester City goal. Patient build-up, wait for the right moment just to thread a through ball. Little cut back into the box. And yeah, it's a simple tapping in the end. And Manchester City have been patient to a point to work for that goal. Our players have got to get back into this game. Mentioned at 1-0 is going to take a massive effort, even more so now.
Yeah, it's a great ball. It really is, from Kian Noble. The centre-half gets the plaudits for it. And then once that was in, everyone else was sitting ducks. So hard from Mahady. He just tried to make himself as big as he possibly could. And Heskey got the run on. Cresswell need to turn into their bench immediately. And Connor Douglas is the one they want onto the pitch. He's an attacking winger. He only knows one thing, and I think Freddie Lane's day is done. It is. And Lane is replaced by Douglas, which means Vincent up front, I think, then.
It looks that way. And it's great to see Connor Douglas back out on the football pitch, because under 21 football action for him at the start of the season, on the score sheet, creating chances, looking dynamic. Missed a large chunk of the season since those kind of games early part of the year, so big opportunity for him here tonight coming onto the pitch.
Yeah, fingers crossed he goes out to the right midfield spot. McDonald's still out there at left wing, and it is McDonald that has it, suffocating City press. They force him back, and now here is Cresswell. This is not the Leeds way they want to play. They want to be on the floor and try to play their football. It's City's mistakes, or City's press, that's making them into mistakes. Kian Noble plodding out a centre-half into Gray. Gray beats Chambers. Doesn't beat Crew. Scoops past two Chambers. This is the very small areas of success that Leeds are going to get. Chambers all the way across. Vincent lines up a shot. It's the first shot for a very long time for Leeds United. Worthington, though, with a round of applause, because there was a 5-pronged attack there, Ben. They got forward in numbers to help out. Yes, the shot was astray, but it's the best opportunity we've had all in the second half.
Yeah, it is, and the good thing about the numbers committing, they're not going to hold back and just accept this defeat, because that's not the Leeds way. It's not this group's way at all. So, yeah, the shot in the end, no danger for the goalkeeper, but I don't mind it again from Vincent having the effort.
Crew to Vincent. First touch takes him inside. He's got McDonald on his out. Vincent, for now, isn't going to use them. Into the area he goes. He's trying to do it all himself here, Vincent. City get across. McDonald gets his body in the way. Goes to ground. Still hasn't gone out. McDonald and Noble fighting it out. And Leeds, much of the discussed in the corner. There's plenty of travelling support in that corner. A throw-in, I think, has been given to Manchester City. Heskey goes to ground. Leeds are winning it a bit further up the pitch here. McDonald trying to go past Henderson-Hall, who's taking it from him. It will be a throw into Leeds. Toulson told to come and take it. Chadwick, Toulson. He's been forced back. It's a free kick though. In these awkward situations, do you send bodies forward? The answer is yes. With Chadwick out there, Cresswell and Lopata-White have been told to get up. Crew's joining them. Dan Toulson's joining them. And of course, Man City, set piece-wise, have been, I would say, pretty tame. So let's hope Leeds can fire back in this department. Douglas is making a run to the near post. That will at least stretch the City defence out a little bit. Cresswell usually the target. Lopata-White is also up there towards the far post, headed away by City. It'll fall to Mukasa, and Mukasa trying to get away from trouble. McDonald trying to force him into a mistake. Mukasa still got it. McDonald refusing to give up, and Leeds keep them penned in. And yes, City get the throw, but the fans behind the goal will appreciate the effort.
Oh, of course they do, and that's the type of effort we're going to need for the remaining part of the game. And that's the type of effort as well that can just get you a little bit of a break during the game. Bit of momentum, twist of, bit of fortune, yeah, bit of luck. As we've seen in the Manchester City first goal with a deflection, something like that can just reignite you, and yeah, especially reignite the big crowd that's come all over the Pennines to follow this young team.
Awful situation that for Toulson. High hanging ball, nobody behind him. Cushion header, Crew beaten, so is Chadwick, and it is now into Oboavwoduo, who gets it away. Chadwick back to Crew. There's a lot more space. This game's a lot more stretch. City, of course, will be happy with this. They'll feel once they catch Leeds, they can attack. You do feel, though, that it's a case of fighting fire with fire for Leeds, Ben. They've got to find space. The game had to change eventually, and at 2-0 down, something's got to give. Yeah,
almost take that calculated chance in a way. But the spaces are out on the pitch at the moment.
Yeah, Richards gets the ball. There's an inside run from Chadwick. Richards forced back, though. Crew was waving to say he was open. Here's Lopata-White. Now it's into Douglas. Douglas tried to turn it around the corner. It's blocked by Man City. Ben Wilkinson of Man City applauding the work. Here's Crew to Toulson. Now to McDonald. Cresswell. Richards was making a forward run. Lopata-White now to Richards. He felt comfortable to play the pass early. Lopata-White forced back towards his own goal. Never thought I'd see roles reverse so quickly like this. It's now Leeds' turn to keep possession, and City on the back foot, but of course they've got the advantage on the score sheet. They're happy to do so. Chadwick rise the challenge of one, carries on and goes and gets it back. Here is Chambers. Leeds need him in a bit more space. Chambers finds space himself to Richards. Inside of him is Douglas. Far post is Vincent. Richards is still going, turns inside. It's a little bit heavy. He lays it off though. Shots coming in. It's going to be whistled wide. The corner though. I think it was Chambers letting fly from the edge of the box. Big opportunity, Ben, and tell what they're giving it a good go.
Yeah, they are, and just seeing the dugout from a Leeds perspective, all the coaches, round of applause, and why not? Because the first time we've actually dominated the possession, moved the ball with a purpose, getting to space inside the 18-yard box. Chambers always leaning back on his shot, unfortunately, but thankfully they just take a deflection.
Yeah, Chadwick to take for Leeds United. Plenty of numbers, only Richards back inside the centre circle. Good ball in from Chadwick. Underneath it, Lopata-White. It'll fall to McDonald at the far post. He lays it back off. Shots coming in. Takes a deflection. It'll fall for City. And now this is where they're so dangerous. Chambers. And now they're coming forward here with Ndala. Ndala running forward with pace. He's only got one for company. Richards is a bit of a sitting duck out there. He slides across. It's tremendous from Joe Richards on a yellow card. And that's the challenge he produces. Yes, it's a City corner. It could have been 3-0.
Oh, quite easily. And the counter-attack was full of pace, full of endeavour. 2v2 at one point, but it just held his position so well. looks like he's got a bit of cramp, and why not at the moment, because has covered so much ground. Charlie Crew sprinting back as well, backed up by his teammates. Dangerous situation, but timed the challenge to perfection. Just read the pass, slid in, and that's where he gets that little bit of cramp.
He tried to get up, and he was straight back on the floor, but he's just tried to run it off without the treatment, and it's early days for cramp, of course. A really warm day. Could be a record high for Manchester. It's 2-0 it remains. Subs galore warming up for both teams. The City with Mukasa go back. Leeds again very deep inside their own penalty box. Out to Ndala. Ndala again. Lopata-White trying to stand him up, and there's two powerful bodies there. There was a slight pull, and Ndala went for it. He showed no effort to carry on. He wanted the free kick, and he got one. Bench elsewhere for Leeds: Joe Billett, Coburn Bird, Oliver Pickles, Devon Brockie, Leighton Brown. The ones we've seen in the Youth Cup: Brockie, Pickles, Bird. Coburn Bird started the first game against Norwich at left back. Mukasa's ball in, all the way across. Lopata-White headed towards goal. It's going to be tapped in. There's no offside flag. And for the first time after set piece, Leeds United are undone. And it was just the waiting numbers at the back stick. And this game that was always going to be a tall order is now nearly out of reach. Stephen Mfuni, the goal scorer this time. Yeah,
just looking at the players' reaction, looking towards the linesman on the far side, hoping, praying. The flag did go up. Wasn't happening, and that's what Manchester City do, just turn the screw. They've done it ever so well the second half. Third goal just about keeping the ball alive, keeping it in a dangerous area. This time they don't go short, didn't clear his lines, simplest headers at the far post to make it 3-0.
Yeah, I thought it was Noble's touch at first, so Lopata-White, yeah, Noble, that could have been going in. I mean, if I'm Kieran Noble, I'm seething. Interestingly, Etherington has brought across Chadwick. We've got Conor Douglas nearby. Clearly they want something different from midfield. But City looking very, very comfortable tonight. They won the league encounter 4-1 a couple of weeks ago, but Leeds did put out a young team for that. And now for Leeds, look for at least a goal to give you something to build on, anything at all to try and give you a sniff, especially in the front of the travelling support as well. 3-0 down. It's a long shot, but who knows? Here's Chadwick. Vincent to chase it. Vincent is working so hard there just to try and get any form of error out of this City defence, but very classily dealt with by Charlie Gray. Skips away, and it's just the way they move from side to side out towards Alfa-Ruprecht, who's done very well. Toulson, though, wins a throw out of him, and these are the areas that Leeds will look to quicken up. Then throw-ins, anything to try and put City off balance. As Chadwick goes back to Lopata-White, but do we expect a couple more changes? Do we expect to see this team out there for the next 10? Let's break off, because here they come through with Mukasa. Shot will come in, he's overhit it behind for a goal kick.
I think what you expect is more of the players out there just getting tired, because the demands they've had to put on themselves, yeah, individually and a collective, just to try and keep Man City at bay, especially that first 45. Looked in control, but they're just upped it again in the second half of Manchester City. Full credit to them for doing it, but the effort of the players, they're still trying to do the right things. See Dan Toulson there driving forward with the ball, wins a free kick.
Yeah, City have got two changes being lined up here. First of which is Justin Oboavwoduo. So Oboavwoduo is off. Towering framing set in midfield. And coming on as well, Okeke. And you've also got Matty Warhurst, who's been a bit of a regular in this team anyway. He has scored, Warhurst, in the earlier game in the Cup. That was against Watford. And Okeke comes on for Mukasa, who was a talented player. We expect nothing less from Man City Academy team. The success they've had at first team level will only filter through down the groups. As here's Lopata-White. Slightly overhit from McDonald, and very difficult for him not even to get to it, to actually keep it alive once it downspent. 17 minutes to go. My perspective anyway, try and get a consolation in front of their way and give you something to remember it by. And just hope it's in the next few minutes. On a free kick. Making their way forward. Vincent, the one that was fouled. Chadwick signalled before he put the ball down. And again, Vincent's on the edge of the box, so is Chambers. Bigger bodies are right in there in the mix. Referee spotted something with Lopata-White that he's not happy with. Delivered in by Chadwick to the near post, flicked on, keeper makes the save. True Grant, that could have gone anywhere. Good reactions from the City goalkeeper. Douglas was in the mix as well, Ben, trying to get a toe to the ball. You never know if that could have gone in, what it could have done, but we always know with Chadwick, 9 times out of 10, Ben, you're going to get a good ball in the box. It's not a good challenge from the number 8. That's one of frustration.
Frustration, tiredness, but his delivery into the box were anything but tired because, as you mentioned, the rounds leading up to this, it's been a real thorn. A wicked delivery of that in-swinger from his right foot. It was Dan Toulson getting across the near post. Yeah, he was granting the Manchester goal, just alerting alive at his near post.
Yeah, much to our annoyance as Henderson-Hall goes back to Keir Noble. Yeah, I think Vincent was going to have to run himself around up there and just try and force any error. Here's Mfuni, the goal scorer of City's third, or Mfuni, should I say. Douglas, it's a touch unfortunate. Looked like he was going to win the ball. It just got away from him. Here's Ndala. Toulson will get to it first. Read it very well. Chambers wanted it in the middle. Toulson will carry on bringing it forward, a little bit behind McDonald. McDonald just wants to run at the City defence. He needs space to do that. He wins a throw. Another, as we approach the 77th minute here at the Etihad Stadium. Risky pass, Lopata-White will need to bail them out, they do. As Mahady has it and Richards is making a run to offer an angle, he gets it. Asking Vincent to chase him behind, easily read by the City defence. Skipper Simpson-Pusey dealing with it. This is where Harry Vincent's legs will start to go on him. Chasing down lost causes, Ben, then chasing down with a press. City coasting as it stands, and hopefully Leeds can keep this score respectable for themselves. They certainly deserve it, the cut run they've been on. Simpson-Pusey, walking pace. It's tough for Leeds, isn't it, Ben, because you're so tired. You're also very aware that if you step out like Chambers has done, that's an advantage from a free kick. It's a poor pass. Leeds will get lucky, but these are young players as well, so the heads naturally will drop with a lack of experience.
Yeah, of course, but I think the game plan overall was stuck to ever so well. It worked for the first 45, but always difficult. As soon as Manchester City get that first goal, then you're going to have to open up. It's only natural to do so, and then that's when they start finding the spaces. They move the ball a little bit easier around, and then the players are playing with a bit more confidence, and then the goals naturally flow from that. So, Proud Boys still trying to stick in, still trying to do the right things. Winning the ball, game through Josh McDonald.
Yeah, he's being pulled back. That'll be a card for Henderson-Hall, has to be. And he will be yellow carded, and the Leeds fans applauding that. These are the situations that Leeds need to just try and quicken it up a little, get that free kick taken. They'll be so tired as well out there. But it's all thanks to the work from McDonald. He was pulled back on a couple of occasions there. And it was all his own doing to win that set piece for Leeds. So let's hope they can do something with it. Leeds fans trying to encourage those players in front of that Man City box. Difficult set piece here because City's high line is really going to ask questions here of Chadwick's delivery. Chadwick, though, floats it as a result, coming in a couple of Leeds bodies, header back down. Chambers turns away to keep it, goes back to Richards. Back to Mahady, who goes forward. Everyone for Leeds looked to be onside. Cresswell, though, couldn't get to it. Back from Chambers. Needs to be careful here. Heskey fouls him. Change coming for Leeds. Devon Brockie. And he had 11 minutes of FA Youth Cup final football to enjoy. Vincent is replaced, and we said throughout, Ben, this campaign how prestigious this competition is. Yes, the scoreline is away from us and looking very much like a home win, but for these players getting to come off the bench, it's still something you tell the grandkids that you expect a big contribution from all the subs that come off to give their all.
Look, we're telling the grandkids we've commentated on it, never mind played in it. So just incredible experiences, and we'll come away in 10-15 minutes time. The disappointment will be there for quite a while, especially over the weekend, going into the off-season as well. But I was so proud, really, getting this far. You mentioned, can they get that goal in front of the 6,000 plus who's made the trip over behind the goal? That would really give something. Good memories as well. But still keep working hard. They're still putting the pressure on Manchester City.
Yeah, they do. It should be. I thought it was a Leeds throw. It is. They are fighting out there. Douglas. Here is Chadwick making a running behind Brockie. He just didn't have anyone settled to take it. Here is Chadwick. Goes to ground, gets a free kick. He'll look to take another swinging delivery into the area. City are trying to slow it down as best they can. 9 minutes left. Chadwick to take on the Richards back again. Ball in near post. It's going to bounce at an awkward height. Chadwick will have to drive back. He's caught late there. City managed to get away with it, and now this is where there's an opportunity. 3-on-1. Richards again looking vulnerable. Warhurst goes for it all the way into the far corner. As clinical as you get from Man City. And Matty Warhurst adds to the tally. He gets his goal tonight off the bench. And there was nothing Richards could do there.
Just look at the Leeds players. Hands on knees, bodies on the floor. They've given absolute everything tonight. But the tiredness has kicked in. And Manchester City, through the substitutions as well. Extra spring in the step, counter-attack. We thwarted one not too long ago from a challenge through Richards. Just too much to do on this occasion. They always had the numbers breaking on this left-hand side. All the runners. You have to say it's a devastating finish. Far corner.
Well, there's not many saving that. That's a very good finish. I've got to agree with you, Ben. These players come across for a drink and soul searching for Leeds players of what is again a really good counter attack, but it is just too many players outnumbered. Had to go for it, of course. You do probably feel that if it's 1-0 that goal doesn't happen because Leeds don't have that many bodies forward, but it is exactly what's happened this time. And we are now into the final few minutes at the Etihad Stadium. Rob Etherington's team were able to hear the travelling support who, if they'll stayed in their numbers, there'll be a lot of these that were making their way to Norwich on Sunday. As Mahady gives the ball away and just frustration for him there. Of course, while we are biased, Ben, with our perspective, we do get to watch teams up close, and I think we'll see a few of these City players in a few years.
Oh, definitely. And then they can get another substitution, more fresh legs for themselves. But these are the challenges, though, Tom, because, as you mentioned, a lot of these Manchester City players, for their goal, their dreams, aspirations, is to get in their first team, and now difficult that actually to do. But a lot of these players will have very good football careers, whether other Premier League teams down in the EFL. But this is the gold standard of youth football, and for our players to get to this stage, it's only been done twice in the past in our history. It just goes to show how special this group wearing that Leeds jersey, that Leeds badge tonight, have been. So yeah, the scoreline says a lot, says how good Manchester City are, deserved winners tonight, but the players have been part of the history of the club. That's definitely something to take away from tonight.
Yeah, it is. You know, in time they'll think about that, I'm sure. It'll take a few hours, maybe a few nights, a few weeks to get over this, as City player gets a little bit hot under the collar and a little bit unnecessary really when it just looked like a simple free kick breakdown. And it was one of the subs off the bench in Michael Okeke. And Chambers try to wind each other up. I mean, Okeke hasn't seen the funny side. His team's winning 4-0.
I don't know why he's so angry. No, nothing in the challenge whatsoever. And like you mentioned, you're winning the game. Just have a smile on your face.
I'm the most unhappiest player I've ever seen at 4-0. Chambers still trying to enjoy the moment out there as it's down the line, cleared away by Toulson. Down the line to Warhurst, who try and shield away. And to Heskey, further wide to Ndala. Mahady poised and waiting. Shot comes in, it's over the top, and this is where, as you said, Ben, it's the fitness, the quality they've got off the bench. And he's just racking up the goals, and of course the efforts. Leeds' his players so tired out there. There's Toulson to Chambers. Back to Cresswell. Cresswell back to Mahady. Back in to Crew. Misplaced pass when trying to find Richards, and Ndala runs out of wriggle room. It'll be a goal kick. Full ball to Douglas to deal with. Cresswell apologises. Brockie unlucky. Just charging down, trying to keep it alive. Couldn't do so. To Warhurst. Douglas wins it back. Here's Chadwick. Releases Crew. Crew to McDonald. McDonald spins. Just gets caught on it. Gray read the play. Heskey gets back. Takes it from Chambers as well as Chadwick. Some classy operators out there for Man City tonight. Henderson-Hall gets away. Leeds read the play though and cleared. Back to McDonald. I don't think he was expecting it at first. Up to Brockie. Now Chambers. Douglas. Laid off to Crew. Crew will knock it wide for Richards to chase. He'll have to be quick.
That's unlucky.
And that is an unlucky move, Ben, as you say.
Here it is. You can see the idea. Just a little bit of fade. A bit like you on the golf course, like a little bit of fade down the fairway. But it just ran out of room, unfortunately for Richards.
You've not seen me play golf, have you? That had loft.
You probably hit me in this position, actually.
Yeah, direct 45-degree angle to the shin, Ben. City still have possession.
Never thought I'd have to wear shin pads on a golf course, but here we go.
I'll take you out this summer. There's a minute left. City have possession. Challenge from Chadwick. Even the ricochet falls City's way. Crew. Cresswell. Crew. Douglas. Crew plays him outside of the boot pass. Douglas, he doesn't keep it in. Frustrating that for Leeds. Especially the player of his quality. You want him to be out there getting space. And it just hasn't been the night for Leeds United in those areas. And they've got the chance to counter. First half was a bit sharper. Longer the game's gone on, of course, the task is always going to get harder. Crew to Douglas. Down the line to Chambers. Looking over his shoulder to perhaps see what could be on offer in the middle. Back to Chadwick. Chadwick back to Richards. 3 minutes of stoppage time coming. Richards tried to go down the line to Brockie. Unlucky that Chadwick, it just pings off him. And then Gray in midfield takes it away, and City coming forward again, out towards Alfa-Ruprecht. Challenge for Leeds, keeps it alive. City player ends up on the back. And now Leeds with Chambers. Douglas is steaming forward. City, though, have got plenty of players with him. And that's a level of commitment. City are leading 4-0. There's 5-6 blue shirts with one Leeds man.
Yeah. I suppose you do run a little bit harder when you're half 4-0 up, believe me. But the players are absolutely out on the feet, aren't they? In those pink shirts tonight. Giving absolutely everything. Just falling short in the final. But it's great to see all the fans, thousands of fans, still stayed behind, supporting the boys. We're sure we'll give them a great reception when that full-time whistle does go.
Yeah, I did hope that Leeds could have had that one moment in front of them with a goal. Late challenge there. Left it late on Henderson-Hall. Just a minute left here at the Etihad Stadium. It'll be a throw into Leeds. Toulson wants to take it quickly. Chadwick. He's got Chambers. Brockie's coming in at the far post. Chambers takes it past them. Needs his best opportunity to try and get into the area here. Laid off to the edge of the box. Crew being encouraged to shoot. Takes that chance. Just whips it past the post. It took a nick on its way. It'll be a corner. And Leeds' bodies saunter up the pitch, trying to find the energy. Chadwick again applauds the fans that are still there cheering him on. One last swing of the right boot here for Reece Chadwick to hopefully create something for Leeds. A consolation goal is all it will be. But the support that embodies this football club, trying to encourage the players for one moment of joy here at the Etihad in the FA Youth Cup final. Chadwick delivers. It's another dangerous ball. City high up into the air. Awkward. Chadwick deals with it. Will probably want to go back onto his right foot and swing it in. He will. Still going, Chadwick. Knocked to the floor for a free kick. Leeds will get another opportunity. We've had a few encounters with Reece Chadwick. He doesn't know the word quit.
No, he doesn't. You think where in the league, you think the game's level, the way, the energy, the intensity. Final moment to get a goal.
Crew. Plenty of time to whip the ball in. Header towards goal, down the throat of Grant. That was the moment for Leeds United. The full-time whistle goes, and Manchester City are crowned 2024 FA Youth Cup champions. They've won 4-0. A really good performance from them, Ben Wilkinson's team. Congratulations to them. Oboavwoduo, Heskey, Mfuni and Warhurst get the goals. Leeds United's players spent on their feet, some of them having to sit down. What an amazing campaign they've given themselves and us here on LUTV. Victories over Norwich, Brighton, Sheffield United, Liverpool and Millwall, and sadly not to be at the final hurdle. But what an experience, Ben, for all of us connected to Leeds United to get to here. As you said earlier, hit the nail on the head. It's the third time we've been in this position, and it's not something we should be sniffing at.
No.
And development for the future for those young men.
Yeah, not at all, Tom. It's been an incredible journey. We just feel privileged just being able to watch it along the way, let alone commentate on this fantastically dedicated, talented group. And the future's bright, not only for individually, but the academy, the players, how they work, the staff. You mentioned to the staff as a collective, because the work they put in every single day, hour upon hour up at the training ground, just for moments like this. And as we mentioned, history, third team in only our history to get to this stage, just shows how special the group on and off the pitch are. But it just doesn't stop here tonight. Disappointing yet not to get over the line in the final, but the hard work continues when it comes June time, reporting for pre-season. You've got to go again, and the next stage for some of these players will be pushing up into the under 21s. Some will still be scholars next year, hoping to get to this stage yet again. But for this moment in time, be disappointed, hugely disappointed, of course. But just listen to all them fans. They're walking over now to the Leeds United fans behind that goal, taking that reception. You deserve it.
Yeah, not to be tonight. Full-time scoreline 4-0 to Manchester City. And that's all from us here on LUTV.